Okay, just bear with me on this, okay? Hear me out for a second or two, okay? There's actually a positive to this. If Big Mom was the one that ran the whole show and made the entire world her Totland, there is a positive here. Don't get me wrong, there's a boatload of negatives too, but there is a positive, okay? If Big Mom was the one calling the shots, there would be free sweets as far as the eye could see, alright? Granted, I guess it depends on if you like sweets or not, but if you were living in Big Mom's world, you would like sweets. Even if you didn't like sweets beforehand, you would learn to love everything sweet, okay? But imagine that! You walk outside, and your sidewalk is made out of, like, pumpkin pie, and you could just reach down and grab a big freaking handful of pumpkin pie, and oh, it's like living in Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, you know, without the horror tunnel going on. You know, that was a little weird scene there, right? Now granted, there's also going to be like homies everywhere, so you'd walk outside and the sidewalk pumpkin pie is probably going to also talk to you and be like, hey there, good morning, and be like, yeah, good morning, Scoop. Oh god, why? Oh. But I mean, it is a positive. You gotta give me that much, okay? You know, would Kaido's world have free pumpkin pie everywhere? I don't think so. So hey everybody, how you doing? Tekking and Barry here today. This video is basically a fan request. I've seen this every so often on the channel and in comments. Somebody will ask me, hey Tekking, you should make a video on what if X character were to find the One Piece, okay? Because the interesting thing about One Piece, the interesting thing about One Piece is the whole goal here, I mean, well, I guess the whole goal is, like, in an ambiguous sense to, like, have a grand adventure. That's kind of what Luffy wants. But at the end of the day, you have the name of the series, One Piece. That's the name of the great treasure on Laugh Tale, the treasure that Roger spoke about before his execution, okay? So the idea is whoever finds the One Piece, and we don't know what the One Piece is yet, if it's just like a singular object, the Straw Hats just walk in and it's like, it's a magical ball that grants wishes. Probably not, but we don't know. But the point is, whoever finds One Piece, whatever the treasure is, will become the king of the pirates, alright? And so, because there's a set location and destination and, like, treasure, like an object that characters have to find, it makes the overall endgame of this a little bit different from, like, some other manga. Like, just to use the other big three, for example, here, or, like, Bleach and Naruto. Like, Bleach, there was really no, like, Ichigo was not trying to, like, oh, I need to find the sacred Shinigami gem to return me to normal, or anything like that. Naruto was not looking for, I need to find the mighty Hokage crown. Only when I find the Hokage crown and wield it can I become Hokage, right? Inuyasha did have the jewel, so that's that. Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, though, kind of did have the Philosopher's Stone early on, but at a certain point in the story, I'm not going to give huge spoilers there, but it's like that becomes less important as the series continues, at least for Ed and Al, right? So there's a few other manga that have had, like, you know, I need to find the object, and when I find the object, then the series is over because I found the object, okay? Now, obviously, the object is less important to Luffy, you know, it's really about the adventure, but there is going to be an object, so that kind of, you know, cues up the question for a lot of people. The one that I saw last night on Twitter, which was kind of the impetus for this, was from Water D Law 56, which it's a Twitter question or a request from Law, so I have to take it, although the avatar is Boa Hancock, so I'm not really sure. Is Hancock and Law, are they getting together? I mean, maybe, who knows? I can see them getting together. There's something there, maybe. But no, it's like, hey, what would happen if Big Mom found the One Piece and became King of the Pirates or Queen of the Pirates? I think the title is still King regardless of your gender, because when Big Mom was going on that whole rant in Totland about Roger, she was like, Mama, that damn Roger, he snuck into Totland and stole my poneglyph. How dare he? If it wasn't because of Roger, I'd become King of the Pirates by now. And I've actually looked it up, and like historically throughout history, there are some cultures, some monarchies where the ruler is the king regardless of gender, okay? And a perfect example of that is actually ancient Egypt, the pharaohs. There were plenty of female pharaohs, and the title was pharaoh kind of across the board, regardless if you were a man or a woman. So, I think the title stays king regardless, but at any rate, that's the little mini-series we're going to be having here. I was going to make it just one video, compiling all the Yonko into one video, like what would happen if Kaido ruled over the entire world, if he found the One Piece and became King of the Pirates. What about Shanks? What about Blackbeard? What about Whitebeard? But I think there's enough material for each individual Yonko to make a little mini-series about this, so we're going to do that today, and yes, we're going to go through Big Mom today, and then Kaido, Shanks, Blackbeard, and Whitebeard, and if these individual characters each found the One Piece, and as a little bit of an addition to that, as a caveat to that, found the One Piece, became king of the pirates, and defeated the world government. So we're basically going to have little videos on how would Big Mom's, you know, dream world be? How would Kaido's world be if he was the one defeating the world government? He wiped out the rest of his competition, wiped out the Revolutionary Army, found the One Piece, put the crown on his dragon duck head. You know, how would that world go? Okay, and so I think you can even tell immediately there's going to be some different angles to this. You know, obviously Big Mom and Kaido ruling the world would be very, very different from the way Shanks would rule the world, and the way Whitebeard would rule the world, obviously. And I guess Luffy's the fifth emperor, but Luffy is, spoiler alert, probably going to be the one to actually find the One Piece and become king of the pirates. Probably. Now, if Luffy's gonna, like, destroy the entire world government and rule over the entire planet, probably not. Probably not. But let's go to Big Mom first, and we'll move on to the other ones. Those are future videos. Okay, so the first part here I want to go into is how exactly Big Mom would locate Laugh Tale. So we're going to go into a little bit of, like, how the setup would be for her getting to Laugh Tale and finding the One Piece, and then what it would be like after she finds it, becomes, you know, the king of the pirates, and then the world, you know, like, further down the line, how it would change because of her influence. Okay, so first off, this is actually really simple for me. Big Mom already has one of the road poneglyphs. You know, she's had her road poneglyph, I think, for even longer than, well, definitely longer than Kaido. We don't know the whole deal with the fourth one, so that's going to be kind of up in the air. You know, we're basically just going to have to be, and this X character finds the fourth road poneglyph somewhere, because we just don't know where it is right now. But the point is, yeah, Big Mom's had her road poneglyph for a very, very long time, okay? She's right now at Wano, at the Battle of Onigashima and everything, so you could basically just have it set up where Big Mom, you know, she got dropped off a freaking building last chapter by Jinbei and Robin's epic combo move, so that was really sweet, or 2 chapters ago. But you could have a thing where Big Mom, at the end of the battle, you know, you could have the Battle of Onigashima, you could have Kaido's forces and the samurai forces clash, and then the Straw Hats are included in there too, and then those forces just kind of decimate one another. And so it's a moment where Big Mom kind of rises up after being dropped and stuff, and the battle has just been ravaging, and she gets the idea of her in her head, like, Mama, I must go rescue Kaido. Working together, we could surely defeat the Straw Hats in this puny rebellion. Oh. Mama, wait a moment here. Maybe I could turn the tides of this battle if I fought with Kaido, but I could also just wait to see what happens, right? And if Kaido and the other crews, like, just decimate each other, they both get wiped out, and then it would just be me, Mama. And then Napoleon's up there, and Napoleon's like, that's a great idea, Mama. You should totally just hang back and just wait to see what happens. Ah, yes, indeed, Mama. And so she just kind of plays, like, she just maybe plays dead or something, or goes off somewhere, maybe meets up with her crew, or Paris Bow, or somebody. And, yeah, it could be a thing where, like, if Kaido and the Calamities and the Tobiropo and, like, the major heavy hitters on the samurai side, like if the Yakuza bosses, Hyogoro, obviously the Straw Hats, and, you know, the Kid Pirates and the Heart Pirates, they all get wiped out, you might have it the Minks as well. The Minks also would be, you know, decimated in this battle too. They just, like, destroy each other. And yeah, by the way, just get ready. Not in every single one of these videos, but in probably a few of these videos, we're probably going to have the caveat of, and the Straw Hats get killed. The Straw Hats, because you can't really have Big Mom reaching to find, I mean, I guess in theory you could. That's the great thing about what-if scenarios. You can take different roads to them. But in this one situation, this particular instance, the Straw Hats and Kaido, they just wipe each other out. Alright, so then you have a moment where Big Mom is there, and there's still other fighters in the Battle of Onigashima. Like, there's still random samurai, there's still the Mimawari Gumi, some members of the Oniwabanshu, and there's still members of the rebellion still around. Maybe 1 or 2 of the Yakuza bosses are still around, a few of the Minks might be still alive, but all of the heavy hitters are taken care of. And so that's when Big Mom appears with her children. You know, she's went and summoned, like, Sparrow's there, and he might be trying to double-cross them as well, but maybe Big Mom could just, like, smush him or whatever. But then, like, you know, Smoothie's there, and freaking Compote's there, and all the other children of Big Mom show up, and then she does basically mop-up duty. She's just like, Mama, Kaido is defeated! Oh, that's so tragic. I will be your new ruler! And it's kind of like the scene where after Orochi gets his head lopped off, where Kaido is like, I'll give you piss ants 4 seconds. Who are you working for? 1, 2, 4. He's like, oh, no, we work for you, Lord Kaido. Damn straight, that's what I thought. Look. So that's probably going to be the same situation where Big Mom emerges, and Big Mom, yes, is an outsider, just like Kaido. And the people of Wano don't know Big Mom as well as they know Kaido, but they understand that Kaido and Big Mom were working together. They were allies, and they were kind of in the same kind of ballpark of strength. So if the Straw Hats are wiped out, and the Kid and Heart Pirates are wiped out, and all of the Minks and the Scabbards are wiped out, you know, like, anybody remaining is probably just gonna be like, I mean, you probably have some Kozuki, like, clan, like, retainers that are gonna be like, we'll never bow to you! Ah! And then, you know, like, Smoothie, take care of them. Yeah, alright, mama. And then Smoothie does her attack and just, like, wipes out all of the remaining, like, stragglers of the battle. And anyone that's remaining would probably bow to Big Mom and be like, okay, well, we went from Orochi to Kaido to this lady in, like, the span of 2 hours. We went through, like, 3 rulers of Wano. What are you gonna do, right? And so Big Mom, ruling effectively all of Onigashima and having that under her thumb, means that she can go find Kaido's road poneglyph easy squeezy lemon peasy. And in addition to that, because the Minks are also pretty much wiped out here, at least if like Inuarashi and Nekomamushi are annihilated, and all of the Guardians and the Musketeers are wiped out, Carrot might have to die in this scenario. It's just a what-if scenario, Matt. It's just a what-if. Okay, so if the Minks, all the strong Minks are killed, then Big Mom's gonna be like, all right, mama, we now attack Zou. You know, and I'm sure there's still Minks on Zou to, like, protect the island, but you could see all of the strongest warriors are definitely at freaking, are at Onigashima right now. All the Guardians, the Musketeers, and, you know, Rashi Nekomamushi. So, yeah, there might be a few, you know, stragglers, you know, maybe a few strong warriors, like a few Guardians that stayed behind at Zunisha to protect the place, and we saw when Jack tried to invade, you know, every Mink, even like the little kid Minks, can still fight. They can still use Electro. But Big Mom's entire crew backing her, you know, the Sweet Commander's there, if Katakuri's back up in action, plus you got the Samurai of working under Orochi, or the Ninja that are now working under Big Mom, and anybody else that decided to follow Big Mom, yeah, the Minks would not be able to survive that with all their heavy forces. I mean, they might put up a little bit of resistance, because they're like home field advantage, it would not last long. And so eventually Big Mom would just ravage Zunisha, you know, and, oh, keep this in mind, Big Mom also has Minks working under her, or at least living in Totland, so if she wanted to, she could just grab one of the Minks and just torture or use her soul pocus or whatever to, like, rip out their souls and, like, torture them and whatever. It's like, where is it? Where is the poneglyph here? Because they would know. And even if the Minks are, like, super loyal to an end, I mean, even if none of the Minks tell Big Mom where they're at, well, you do have Pudding's memory powers. So she can, like, literally rip out one of the Minks' memories and just, oh, it's in the whale tree over there. Now, Pudding, I don't know if she's still going to be listening to Big Mom after the whole events at Totland, but for the purposes of this video, let's just say she does. Let's say Pudding is either, she's still working for Big Mom of her own accord, or Big Mom just forces her into it, or otherwise she would just die. Okay, and so, of course, Pudding is sort of the cornerstone to all of this as well, because Pudding is a member of the Third Eye Clan. She can awaken her powers, and she can actually read the road poneglyphs. We're just, like, assuming everything goes swimmingly here. Let's see, what else? On Wano, the Kozuki clan is capable of reading the road poneglyphs. Maybe the documentation on, like, the scripts on how to read it, you know, maybe, like, in, like, the depths of the Flower Capital in, like, Orochi's vault, there was, like, documentation the Kozuki clan, like, passed down through the centuries, like, here's how to decipher the road poneglyphs, or here's how to read the script on the poneglyphs. Might be something like that as well. So there's a few ways. Maybe she could find something in Wano to read them, or she could just go with the original plan of awakening her powers and reading the poneglyphs that way. But at any rate, she finds the road poneglyph at Zou, in the whale tree, some way or the other, and then she now has 3. And then this is where we get into the point where it's like, where's the 4th one at? We don't know, but Big Mom, it was stated that Big Mom has the largest information network in the entire world. And so if there was any like one pirate in the world that could probably find the location of the 4th one, it's most likely to be Big Mom because of her vast information network. Like, even after all of the Yonko, Whitebeard, Blackbeard, Shanks, she has the best of that. So she finds the road poneglyph, the fourth one somewhere. It might be in the hands of the world government, might be just at the bottom of the ocean. King Neptune might have moved it from Fishman Island, he might have put it somewhere else. Wherever it's located, she finds it, okay? And now she has all 4 road poneglyphs. Kaido is defeated. You still have the other Yonko, okay? So in order to make this work, we have this version of events where Big Mom manages to defeat all the other Yonko and reigns supreme, okay? And this is where it comes to Big Mom does not necessarily need to, like, directly one-on-one fight against Blackbeard, directly one-on-one fight against Shanks. Because it's very likely that, like, the One Piece itself or it might be the ancient weapons, or the ancient weapons might be there, or it might have some connection to the ancient weapons. So it's sort of like going back to Crocodile's original plan of just like, I'm gonna get Pluton and obliterate the entire world at one shot. You know, it might be something like that, where he or she who finds the One Piece becomes king of the pirates. That's not just like a ceremonial thing where it's like, oh, I found the One Piece, I'm now just ceremonially called the king of the pirates, and like someone could just show up and take that away from me. No, it might literally be, oh, I found the One Piece, I found Laugh Tale, I literally have access to a giant death battleship, or I have some ability to like rule the world, like I can actually like you know, some ancient weapon like freaking Poseidon, that Poseidon could control all of the Sea Kings, might be something similar to that, right? Where it's like an ability that you actually have once you become King of the Pirates. If it is such an ability, and Luffy became King of the Pirates, obviously Luffy would not, like, let's say it is that. Let's just say it's like whoever becomes King of the Pirates, finds the One Piece, has the ability to, like, control the ocean at their whim. Probably not going to be something that ridiculously overpowered, but let's just say it was. If Luffy got that power, he would not use it to be like, I am Monkey D. Luffy! Kaisa Gooni Oriwanar! I've been telling you all for 20 years I was going to do this! You know, probably not gonna go down. It's like the One Ring. It's like whoever puts it on, like, gets power, you know, but also kind of corrupted by Sauron's influence. It might be something like that, but probably not. I don't think Luffy's gonna become like Akira or whatever. But let's just say it was, and it's some kind of power. If Big Mom got her hands on that, it's like, mama, I rule the world now. And it might be a situation where even the other powers of the Yonko, of Shanks, and Blackbeard might pale in comparison to whatever power this is. The power of the world government might pale in what this One Piece actually is, okay? So Big Mom uses the 4 road poneglyphs. She's the first one with her crew and whoever follows her along the way. And along the way, like, by the way, the second that the world finds out, like, okay, Kaido is defeated, Big Mom has these poneglyphs, she's looking for the One Piece, it's gonna, like, skew in her favor very quickly, where it's like, man, it's looking like Big Mom's probably gonna be the one to find find the Laugh Tale and find the One Piece and become the next king of the pirates. We should maybe follow her now. Like, you might even have people defecting from maybe Blackbeard's cause, because it's like, Blackbeard, we love you, man, but it looks like she's probably gonna be the one that's most likely going to find it. I don't see anybody, like, really defecting from Shanks' crew, because Shanks' crew is a lot smaller, and it's just a lot more like, you know, they're bros, you know? You know, you might have a lot of pirates in the world, like other supernovas and stuff, just droppings, like Beiji kind of, well, sorry for betraying you, Big Mom, but it looks like you're gonna win. Probably not gonna happen in that way, but you would have a lot more of, like, heavy hitters in the world following Big Mom to Laugh Tale. So she gets to Laugh Tale, she finds the One Piece, she becomes king of the pirates, and through that power, she decimates the other Yonko, decimates the supernova, as well as the world government and the Marines. And so Big Mom essentially rules. And now this gets to the next part of this video is, how would Big Mom rule the entire world? Well, some of the Yonko, not all of them, but some of the Yonko, Kaido and Big Mom specifically, I guess Blackbeard too at this point, kind of have a setup where their islands are sort of like the mini blueprint on how they want to rule the entire world. Blackbeard has the Hachinosu, he's got the Beehive Island, the Pirate Paradise, so his world would be an area where pirates are just like, it's lawless lands everywhere and you can just party all day and night, and rock and roll every day. But then you have Big Mom. Big Mom, of course, her whole thing is Totoland, because she has really messed up morals and like goals, because being raised by Mother Caramel was like, oh, I'm gonna take in every poor child that was like thrown out of their country or was displaced, and we're all going to live together in perfect harmony here at the Lamb's house on Elbaf. And that was like Mother Caramel's dream. Of course, Mother Caramel at the end of the day was a member of, well, she wasn't a member of CP0, but she worked with the world government. She was like she was like a trafficker of various people and stuff, and then that's how she even trafficked like John. John Giant was the first giant to really join the Marines because of Mother Caramel, or the Mountain Witch, right? So, but ostensibly her front for that was like, I want to make a perfect world where everybody can come around and sing, Kumbaya and hold hands. That was, Mother Caramel's dream that Big Mom took. But it's literally a facade that Mother Caramel created just to tell her kids, like, puppies and unicorns and rainbows. So the facade is picked up by Big Mom, who then warps it over years of using her power to basically rule with an iron fist, with her soul powers. And so now you get what Totland is, where it's a world where Big Mom thinks, like, everything is like, oh, this is perfect. Like, it's this place where it's like, oh, there's minks and long arms and long legs and snake necks all living together in harmony. It's beautiful, isn't it? Whereas it's cruel oppression everywhere else in the world. And in addition to that, the gigantification experiments that Big Mom wanted Caesar to perform on these kidnapped children to make them into giants. Because, like, we need giants and we don't have giants. We need to have giants. It's Totland. It's a perfect harmony for all races. We're getting giants. Freaking Caesar, experiment on those children until they're giants. So that's messed up. And then we also see when the preparations for the Tea Party, when she was sending out Amande and everybody to diesel out to all those different islands, and Randolph to just slaughter the inhabitants of these islands and get the eggs and the flour and all that crap, right? So, yeah, Totland is not a paradise, but Big Mom thinks it's a paradise. She thinks it's a utopian society. This is like the blueprint for the entire world. So this makes it actually easy. Big Mom would spread her influence throughout the entire world, go island to island, transform them, terraform them, I guess candy form them, I suppose, into various islands that are similar to Totland. So, like, she goes to, like, Alabasta, all right, and she overthrows Alabasta, all right? She takes over the entire island, and she turns, like, all the guardian deity, because Alabasta is based on Egypt, and so you got the Falcons, which are the guardian deity, like Pel, and also, like, Horus from ancient Egyptian mythology, that's the guardian deity. Big Mom just ravages Alabasta, turns it into, like, it's like the sand into, like, pixie stick dust or whatever. She turns it into that or whatever. Candy sand? Is candy sand a thing? Probably, but anyway, she turns it into that, and she takes all these falcon statues, like the noble guardian deities of Alabasta, and turns them into homies. And so they're like flying around the island. So that's Alabasta, like completely terraformed into Big Mom's liking. She freaking goes to Marijois and like turns like Pangea Castle or all like into homies as well. Like the Red Line, the entire Red Line is just a string of homies. Just we're the Red Line, we're the Red Line, we're the Red Line, and the Red Line is just whatever, man. And the entire world just becomes a giant cupcake. She literally turns Onigashima into a muffin. Yes! Okay, that's where it all comes down to, alright? So Big Mom does that, and she rules the entire world. I even started thinking of, like, really messed up things, where, like, let's say the Straw Hats don't get killed by Kaido, but they're still kind of, like, really beaten down and seriously injured. What if Big Mom, like, rips the souls out of, like, some of the Straw Hats and, like, puts them into homies and just uses them as, like, puppet theater to entertain herself? She does the same thing with Kaido and with, like, Sakazuki, the Fleet Admiral, and, Blackbeard and Shanks. Like, she just rips their souls out, like, she wins. And she just takes their souls out and makes, like, it's like that scene, remember, I don't know why this is the first thing that popped into my head, but remember that episode of Courage the Cowardly Dog with the alligator dude? I forget the name of the character, but he like makes like Muriel and Eustace into puppets, and it's a really disturbing, dark episode. And then the end of it is just like Courage using the puppets because like they don't turn back to normal, and he's like yeah, it might be something like that where Big Mom takes the souls of her worst enemies, puts them into like puppet homies or like marionettes, and then uses them as like her court jesters, and she's like, Mama, oh Kaido, you simpleton, and just Kaido's like, I'm a duck dragon, oh, it's like, And it's just like whenever they're stop being funny to her, she just like smashes them to pieces, right? And like that's her world. So she takes over, probably Pangea Castle would be her new domain, turns that basically into Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, along with the entirety of the city of the gods, celestial dragons, turns the celestial dragons into like homies as well. She makes the celestial dragons into like little worm homies or whatever, you know, and just like, oh, we're like the smallest life form, like little ants or something that she just like crushes for her like amusement or whatever. You know, it's like, oh, you were the supreme rulers of this age? Well, now I am. So it's something like that. Now, the thing is, though, out of all of the Yonko, Big Mom right now, because Whitebeard died, Big Mom would be the oldest. She's 68 years old right now. Kaido is definitely younger than her because Kaido was an apprentice on Rox's crew. Oh, maybe I should do one of these on Rox as well, but we don't know a lot about Rox, so we don't really know. But anyway, Kaido's definitely younger than Big Mom, probably in his 50s. Shanks is just turned 40, I think. Blackbeard is also 40. Blackbeard and Shanks are like around the same age, as well as Buggy. So with that situation here, yeah, Big Mom would not... I mean, like, it's One Piece, so maybe she could live a very long life, but eventually she would end up dying. So what would happen then is the question. Like, after Big Mom, like, I'm the king of the pirates, I'm ruling over the entire world transforms into her Totland, and it's supposed to be this paradise utopia, and she thinks it is, but it really isn't. It's very oppressive in a number of different ways. You know, people are being rounded up and just being like, here, you're gonna wear this lollipop hat with pride, and be like, I don't want to wear a lollipop hat. Like, well, too bad, right? You're in Big Mom's world now. But eventually she would die, you know? I was thinking about, like, weird ways that she might try to prolong her own life, like, though, like, you know, maybe looking for certain devil fruits or using Law's, like, youth operation, you know, forcing Law to use that, or killing Law, taking the Oppi Oppi no Mi, giving it to one of her children, and then forcing them to use the youth operation on herself. Law, oh man, that's probably gonna also be a running theme throughout some of these, like Blackbeard and Kaido's video when I get to that. They're probably gonna try to capture Law and use him or his devil fruit power to make them immortal, or like the eternal youth. So that way, I guess with the eternal youth operation, if used on Big Mom, would that keep Big Mom at age 68 for like the rest of her life, or would it like regress her back to like, you know, her like prime of her youth, like at age like 30 or something, and then keep her that way for the rest of her life? Not really sure how the youth operation works, if it just freezes you where you're at, or it like literally makes you, I guess it's called the eternal youth operation for a reason, so I guess it would regress you back to wherever you were in your prime, and then keep you that way in stasis. You could still die if you were, like, killed, like, you know, you were shot or something, but Big Mom is so tough anyway, she's so tanky, that that would be pretty much impossible. So yeah, if the Eternal Youth Operation was performed on Big Mom, she would essentially probably live, not like forever, like a million years of Big Mom's rule, but hundreds of years most certainly, right? And she would rule over the entire planet. Until maybe one day, hundreds of years later, a new main character is born to oppose the reign of Big Mom. That would be actually like, I'm sure Oda's not going to do this, and after One Piece is over, Oda's probably just going to put down his pen, like, that's my magnum opus, I'm done. I might do some other, like, one-shots in the future, but I think after he finishes One Piece, I think Oda's going to be done for manga for a little while. But that would be a cool thing, like, what if Luffy and the Straw Hats don't win? What if Kaido or Big Mom or Blackbeard win, take over the world, become eternally young, and then hundreds of years later we have a sequel story where a new main character is born and, like, has to go against the odds altogether, like, not just going up against the world government, the Marines, the Yonko, but like this one unified force, and then fight against that force. That would be that'd be interesting in and of itself. You'd have a story around that, most certainly. Big Mom has ruled the world for 500 years with a mighty candy cane! Is there anyone that can save us? You know, so, yeah, that would be that, but it would be very, very horrible. But like I said, at the end of the day, I mean, it wouldn't be super horrible. I mean, like, if you lived in one of these islands, you would have food and sweets as far as the eye could see, but there'd also be homies everywhere. It'd be like in 1984. It'd be like homies like Big Brother or, you know, Big Mama is watching you from every single corner. If you even think about, you know, rebelling against her, she's gonna know immediately. You know, but at the end of the day, it's like the people living in Totland, like the citizens living in Chocolate Town, they weren't like living a horrible life, you know what I mean? So it might be like the best out of a bad situation where it's like, if I had a choice, I guess I would choose to live in the world that like Shanks would create when we get to his video, like how Shanks would rule the world, right? I guess I would choose to live in Shanks's world. But if I had a choice between Kaido, Big Mom, and Blackbeard in which world I would want to live in, I guess I'd probably go with Big Mom in that instance, right? Because you know the worlds Kaido and Blackbeard are going to create are just going to be way more horrible, you know? So, especially with Blackbeard, right? But anyway, yeah, that's the video. Thanks for watching. Thanks to all the people that sent in the fan requests or like variations thereof. I think this is a really interesting concept, so I look forward. The other videos, I'm not going to make them all because I'm still doing the list. Like, this isn't the list thing. This is a breakup from the list. So they're not going to be like all this week or anything. I'm going to split them up. But yeah, let me know which video you'd like to see next. Shanks, Blackbeard, Kaido, or Whitebeard, and which world they would create. I guess Whitebeard's world would also be really good to live in as well. But I think in terms of like the one that's probably going to be the most kind and benevolent, probably going to be Shanks or possibly Whitebeard. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. This is Tekking, signing out.